Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a review of a new palette that was recently launched. It is the Tartelette in Bloom palette by Tarte. And this palette launched, I want to say about 3 weeks ago. And when I initially saw it online, I was really excited because it had a lot of shades in here that appealed to me. It's a really nice, neutral, everyday palette. It's great for on the go. I was initially drawn to it because of the color selection. This one was a little bit more warm, whereas their original Tartelette palette was a little bit more cool with more purples and more pinks. And this one has a little bit more neutral tones. So I was really excited by it and I wanted to see what it was. Initially, when I saw that they had released this product, I wanted to get it, but I was a little bit on the fence because for me, Tarte's eyeshadows are very hit and miss, and I wanted to check out the product and swatch it before I actually went in and purchased it. So when I went to Ulta one day, I saw it on display and I swatched it and I was really impressed, so I did decide to get it. And since I purchased it about 2 weeks ago, I've been using it so much. I think that this palette is incredible and I love it, and I would definitely suggest it to people because it's such a great quality palette and it's awesome for those who like everyday colors and they want something that's going to be something they're going to get their money's worth from. So yeah, I really like this. So going into detail about the palette, this goes for $45, I believe it is. It's sold at Ulta and Sephora as well as Tarte online. It comes with this really nice packaging. It's their classic gold packaging that they had with their original Tartelette palette. It's in a very sturdy case and you have to pop it open in order to get it open. It's very good for traveling because it's not too bulky. It's very thin and it doesn't feel flimsy because it does have a pretty good clasp here. So when you open it, the product has a full-size mirror, which is nice. This is great for if you are someone who likes to apply their makeup with their mirror from their palettes. It's great for if you're traveling because it is so big. And it has 3 shimmery shades and the rest are matte. There's a total of 12. And I think the color selection in this palette is incredible. Like, can I just say that again? So when I saw it, the color that really appealed to me was this color up here, which is a really beautiful red brown. It's called a Leader, and to me, this is very similar to Max Brown's Script, Makeup Forever's Auburn. Like, those colors are things that gravitate towards me, and this is the selling point for me when I saw it. And the shimmers in it are really great quality. Like I said before, Tarte has some hit or miss products, and when it comes to their eyeshadows, I feel like it's just Like sometimes you'll get a really great eyeshadow palette from them, and sometimes you'll get like one that's full of like several duds. So this one has no duds for me, and I will swatch them out for you guys and give you a review of each individual shade. When you open it, the shadows have such a nice scent. It's like a really sweet smell. It kind of reminds me of the chocolate bar palette from Too Faced. If you have that, it kind of has that same sweet smell. So I'm going to zoom in on the palette and show you guys swatches so you guys can have an idea of what they look like. So I'm going to be swatching the colors on my arm because I feel like this is the closest to my skin tone on my face, just to give you guys a really good idea of what it looks like. So I'm going to start off with the first color in the palette. It is Charmer. And the Charmer is described as an off-white shade, and I will swatch it for you here. And that's what it looks like on the skin. And the thing I love about this shade, even though it's off-white, it really does not appear as chalky when I apply it on my lids. And that's really important because I feel like the lighter the shades, the more chalky they are on my skin tone, I find, and I don't have that problem with this color. The next color is Jet Setter. Jet Setter is going to be a warm taupe. I do feel like this pulls a little bit cool on my skin tone. You could see that it has some gray kind of undertones. This is going to be a great transition shade for a lot of different skin tones. I know that it could be a transition shade for me. This is going to be a more cool tone transition shade, so if you like cooler toned transition shades, this one's going to be especially appealing to you, and I feel like this works for a good amount of skin tones because as you can see on my skin tone, it does pull color. The next color is called Rocker. This is a shimmering taupe. This is absolutely stunning. I love this shade. This is going to be one that's especially great for day to day. It's going to add a pop on your lid without being too dramatic. So I do like that about it. It's going to add some like va-va-voom to the lid, but not too much. But I love the way that the shimmers in this palette do apply because they go on so easily and they're so pigmented and they just are so creamy and so easy to blend out. So the next shade is Smoke Show. This is a black brown. As you can see, when I blend it out, it looks more black than brown, I want to say. So those who really like to have a really deep, dark black in their palette, this is going to be it. It doesn't pull too much brown for me, in my opinion. It looks more black. So if you're someone who likes to have black in their palettes, a nice matte black to smoke out your eye look, this is going to be the shade for you. And I love that they incorporated a cool tone dark brown slash black because it's not going to be as harsh as a true black. So it will soften up a smoky eye, but you do need a dark shade to add some smokiness to the lid when you want to up the amp and make your look more dramatic and more nighttime appropriate. The next color in the palette is called Flower Child. This is a peachy nude. I absolutely love this shade. This is probably one of my favorites in the palette because it is a true bone shade. And when I apply it to my lids, it just goes so nicely. It's just a really beautiful vanilla shade and it does not look chalky at all. And it's just so easy to blend out. I really have to admit that Tarte did a great job with the mattes in this palette because they're so easy to apply. They're blendable, they're not chalky, so I really do love the mattes in this palette and I think they're so easy to work with. The next color in this palette is the color Smarty Pants, and this is just a tan. This will also be a more warm transition shade. You could barely see it on my skin tone. That's why it's going to be an excellent transition shade for me. This is going to be nice for those of you who like a more warm transition shade, whereas this color right here, Jet Setter, is a little bit more cool. This one is going to be more warm and it's going to make the eyeshadows blend nicely together when you do blend them out because it's just so versatile. The next color in the palette is also another favorite of mine. It's called Firecracker and this is one of their shimmery shades and this is absolutely stunning. You can see it right here on my arm. It is just so ultra pigmented and just look at how beautiful it is. This is described as a bronze copper. So next we have the color Activist and this is just a true dark brown, but I want to say it's more of like a cool tone brown because it's just so deep and dark. It's going to be something that's going to be used on your outer corner to deepen up a look. This is going to be a great shade if you want to make your eye a smoky eye, but you don't want it to be like a harsh black. So again, that is the color Activist. The next color is the color Funny Girl, and this is a champagne shade. I like this one a lot. I think I use this the most of all the shimmers in here because it's just so easy and it's just so versatile. And look at how pigmented that is. I just love the way it looks. And it really can be used as a highlight as well because it's just so shimmery and so beautiful. The next color is the color Sweetheart, and this is a true peach. It's like a more of a peachy pink. I love this shade as well. I think it's gorgeous. I pretty much love every shade in this palette because I feel like they did such a great job with the color selection. But this could be used as a lid color. It could be used as a transition color. There's just so many uses for this color and it's so blendable. It's so easy to work with. I like the way that it applies to my lids. And it's great if you want to go for a more soft look. The next color is called Rebel, and this is a chestnut brown shade. I love this for my outer crease. I love this for applying in the crease. I love it for deepening up a look. I feel like it's going to add some depth and definition without going too far. It's not going to be very harsh. So I love that about this color, and I think that it's just so easy to work with, as is all the mattes in this palette. I just love the way it looks on the outer corner, and I often mix this with the next shade I'm going to show you guys. So the last shade for this palette is called Leader. This is described as a red brown, really beautiful. I love this on the outer crease. When I mix Rebel and Leader together, it makes the perfect outer V shape if you want to add a soft depth to your look. And I love the shades together. They pair together so well. So all in all, I do love this palette. I definitely give it a 10 out of 10 because it is great quality. I think that it's really hard to make matte shades that are lighter in tone not be chalky, and I feel like that's my problem with a lot of palettes because they incorporate these really light, neutral, beautiful tones, but when you apply them to your lid, they're just so chalky and they don't look good. So I love that the quality of these eyeshadows in here are phenomenal, and I have no complaints about them. To me, there was not one dud, believe it or not, in the whole palette, which is incredible. And for the price point of $45, I really feel like you're getting a good amount of product for the money because these shades are full size, they're not small, and the pigmentation and quality of them is exceptional. And you will definitely get your money's worth because this is not a palette like the Urban Decay Electric palette or something with these really vivid colors that you will never use. These are neutral tones that you can incorporate in your day-to-day look, and you can also up the amp and use some of the deeper shades to smoke it out and make it nighttime appropriate, which I really loved about this palette. So I would definitely suggest it if you are at an Ulta or Sephora. Definitely just dip your little fingers in there and give it a few swatches so you can see yourself how it looks on your skin and you can get an idea of how great it is, because I definitely love it and I think it's great. And I'm not one who loves all of Tarte shadows, so this really just made them really appeal to me as a brand. And yeah, so this completes my video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye guys.